Have you ever felt a deep, inexplicable yearning for something more? A whisper in your soul that speaks of untapped potential, of dreams yet unfulfilled. My friends, that whisper is the voice of your true self, calling out to be heard, to be nurtured, to be set free. How living alone might just be the key to unlocking that potential within you. Living alone. Isn't that lonely? Isn't that going against everything society tells us about happiness and fulfillment? Have you ever considered that the constant search for companionship might be drowning out the most important relationship of all? The one you have with yourself. We live in a world that's obsessed with connections, social media, dating apps, constant communication. We're more connected than ever before. Yet paradoxically, many of us feel more disconnected from our true selves than at any other time in history. We've become so focused on finding the right person to complete us that we've forgotten how to be complete on our own. But here's the truth that many don't want to acknowledge. True fulfillment, true purpose, true joy, these don't come from outside sources. They come from within. And to tap into that wellspring of inner strength and wisdom, sometimes we need to step away from the noise and distractions of constant companionship. Living alone isn't about isolation or rejection of others. It's about creating a sacred space where you can truly hear your own thoughts, feel your own emotions, and connect with your deepest desires. It's about building a relationship with yourself that's so strong, so nurturing, that it becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. When was the last time you sat in silence with no one else around and really listened to your own heart? When did you last make a decision based solely on what you wanted, without considering anyone else's opinions or expectations? Well, for many of us, these experiences are rare. We've become so accustomed to considering others, to compromising, to fitting ourselves into the molds that relationships often require, that we've lost touch with our authentic selves. But living alone gives you the opportunity to rediscover that authenticity. It allows you to explore your interests without judgment, to pursue your passions without compromise, to grow and evolve at your own pace. It's in this space of self-discovery that true miracles happen. Let me share a story with you. There was once a young woman named Zoe who had always defined herself by her relationships. She went from one partnership to another, constantly seeking validation and purpose through others. But no matter how hard she tried, she always felt like something was missing. It wasn't until a series of events led her to live alone for the first time that Zoe began to understand what that missing piece was. At first, the silence was deafening. The empty spaces in her home seemed to echo with loneliness. But as days turned into weeks, something remarkable started to happen. Zoe began to hear her own voice again. She rediscovered passions she had long forgotten. She started painting again, something she had given up years ago because a former partner hadn't appreciated it. She began to write, pouring her thoughts and feelings onto paper without fear of judgment. She started taking long walks, relishing the freedom to go wherever her feet led her, without having to consult anyone else's schedule or preferences. As months passed, Zoe noticed a profound change in herself. The constant anxiety that had been her companion for years began to fade. The need for external validation diminished. She found herself smiling more, laughing more freely, standing taller for the first time in her adult life. Zoe felt truly, deeply content. What Zoe discovered, and what I want you to understand, is that living alone isn't about being lonely. It's about creating the space for self-discovery, self-love, and self-actualization. It's about building a relationship with yourself that's so strong, so nurturing, that it becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. You might be thinking, but isn't that selfish? Shouldn't we be focusing on building relationships with others? And that's a valid question. But here's the truth. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot love others fully if you don't first love yourself. You cannot contribute meaningfully to the world if you don't understand your own unique gifts and purpose. Living alone gives you the opportunity to develop these crucial aspects of yourself. It allows you to build emotional independence, the ability to regulate your own emotions, to find joy and fulfillment within yourself, rather than constantly seeking it from others. This emotional independence is not just beneficial for you, it's the foundation of healthy relationships with others. How many relationships have you seen crumble because one or both partners were too needy, too dependent on the other for their happiness? How many friendships have been strained by unspoken expectations and unfulfilled needs? When you learn to be complete on your own, you enter into relationships not out of need, but out of choice. You bring a whole, fulfilled person to the table, ready to share and grow together, rather than someone desperately seeking to fill an inner void. But living alone isn't just about emotional growth. It's also about practical self-reliance. When you live alone, you're forced to develop a wide range of skills. You learn to cook for yourself, to manage your finances, to fix things around the house. You become resourceful, adaptable, and self-sufficient. These are skills that will serve you well throughout your life, whether you choose to remain living alone or eventually share your life with others. Living alone gives you the gift of uninterrupted focus in our increasingly distracted world. The ability to concentrate deeply on a task or an idea is becoming rare. But when you live alone, you have the opportunity to create an environment that's conducive to deep work and reflection. You can structure your time and your space in ways that align with your natural rhythms and preferences. This uninterrupted focus can lead to incredible personal and professional growth. Many of history's greatest thinkers, artists, and inventors had periods of solitude that allowed them to develop their ideas and skills. From Einstein to Emily Dickinson, from Nikola Tesla to Georgia O'Keeffe. Periods of solitude and independent living have often been the crucible in which greatness is forged. Many people fear that choosing to live alone means choosing a life of isolation. But nothing could be further from the truth. Living alone doesn't mean cutting yourself off from others. In fact, it often leads to richer, more meaningful connections with people when you're comfortable being alone. When you're not desperately seeking companionship to fill an inner void, you become more discerning about the relationships you do choose to cultivate. You're more likely to surround yourself with people who truly align with your values and interests, rather than settling for relationships out of fear of being alone. Living alone gives you the energy and capacity to be fully present in your interactions with others. When you have your own space to retreat to recharge and reflect, you can bring your best self to your relationships. You're not drained by constant companionship or the need to always consider another person's needs and preferences. Instead, you can approach each interaction with freshness and genuine enthusiasm. Let me tell you a story. William was a successful executive who had always lived with others. First with roommates in college, then with a series of girlfriends. He prided himself on being a people person and feared that living alone would make him antisocial. But when circumstances led to him living alone for the first time in his late 30s, he was surprised by what he discovered. At first, William filled his calendar with social engagements, afraid of spending too much time alone. But as he grew more comfortable with solitude, he began to be more selective about how he spent his time and who he spent it with. He started to notice which relationships truly energized him and which left him feeling drained. To his surprise, William found that his social life actually improved. The time he spent alone allowed him to recharge. So when he did socialize, he was fully present and engaged. He found himself having deeper, more meaningful conversations. He became a better listener, no longer feeling the need to fill every silence or dominate every interaction. His relationships, both personal and professional, became richer and more rewarding. What William discovered is something I want all of you to understand. Living alone doesn't diminish your capacity for connection. It enhances it. It allows you to bring your best, most authentic self to every interaction. It gives you the space to cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence, qualities that are crucial for building strong, healthy relationships. Many people worry that by choosing to live alone, they're somehow opting out of important life milestones or experiences. But I want to challenge that notion. Living alone doesn't mean you can't have deep, meaningful relationships. It doesn't mean you can't fall in love, have children, or build a family if that's what you desire. What it does mean is that you're approaching these life experiences from a place of wholeness and self-awareness, rather than seeking them out of a desperate need to fill an inner void. Living alone opens up possibilities for experiences that might not be available to those in traditional living arrangements. It gives you the freedom to pursue unconventional career paths, to travel extensively, to immerse yourself in passion projects. It allows you to design a life that truly reflects your values and desires, rather than conforming to societal expectations or compromising to accommodate others. Those dreams we saw in our childhood, the aspirations that made your heart sing, how many of those have you put aside in the name of practicality or compromise? Living alone gives you the opportunity to reconnect with those dreams, to pursue them without hesitation or apology. It allows you to live life on your own terms, to write your own story. Living alone isn't always easy. There will be moments of loneliness, times when you crave the comfort of constant companionship. There will be practical challenges, household tasks that seem overwhelming when you're the only one responsible for them. There will be societal pressure, well-meaning friends and family who question your choices. These challenges, however, are not roadblocks. They're opportunities for growth. Each moment of loneliness is an invitation to deepen your relationship with yourself. Each practical challenge is a chance to develop new skills and increase your self-reliance. Each questioning voice from others is an opportunity to strengthen your conviction in your chosen path. Remember, choosing to live alone doesn't mean choosing a life of perpetual solitude. It means creating a home base, a sanctuary where you can continually return to center yourself, to reconnect with your core values and desires. From this strong foundation, you can then go out into the world, engage fully in life, build meaningful connections, and make your unique contribution to the world. Living alone allows you to develop a deep, unshakable sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on anyone else's validation. It teaches you that you are enough, just as you are. This self-assurance becomes a beacon, attracting genuine connections and opportunities that align with your authentic self. When you live by yourself, you have the unique opportunity to develop what psychologists call internal locus of control. This is the belief that you have the power to influence your own life and circumstances, rather than feeling at the mercy of external forces. In a relationship or shared living situation, it's easy to fall into patterns of blaming others for our problems or relying on them to solve our issues. But when you live alone, you're forced to take full responsibility for your life. If something goes wrong, you can't point fingers at anyone else. This might sound daunting, but it's incredibly empowering when you realize that you have the power to shape your own life, to solve your own problems, to create your own happiness. It's like discovering a superpower you never knew you had. You stop waiting for someone else to make you happy or fix your life. You become proactive. taking charge of your circumstances and your emotional well-being. This sense of personal empowerment spills over into every area of your life. You become more confident in your decision-making abilities. You're more likely to take calculated risks and pursue ambitious goals. You develop resilience, knowing that whatever challenges life throws your way, you have the inner resources to handle them. Living alone also provides the perfect environment for developing mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment. In our hyper-connected world, true mindfulness is becoming increasingly rare. We're constantly distracted by notifications, by the needs and demands of others, by the incessant chatter of our busy lives. But when you live alone, you have the opportunity to create spaces of true silence and solitude. You can practice being present with your own thoughts and feelings without the need to perform or present a certain image for others. This mindfulness practice can lead to reduced stress, increased emotional regulation, and a deeper sense of inner peace. Living alone allows you to develop a strong sense of self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to achieve your goals and handle life's challenges. When you successfully navigate the challenges of independent living, from managing your finances to solving household problems, you build confidence in your abilities. This confidence then translates into other areas of your life, empowering you to take on bigger challenges and pursue more ambitious goals. Living alone provides the perfect environment for nurturing your creative spirit. Without the distractions and compromises that often come with shared living, you have the freedom to fully explore your interests and passions. Want to turn your living room into an art studio? Go for it. Feel like staying up all night to write that novel you've been dreaming about? There's no one to tell you not to. Living alone gives you the space, both physical and mental, to let your creativity flourish. But it's not just about having the physical space for creative pursuits. Living alone also provides the mental space necessary for creative thinking. Many great ideas come in moments of solitude, when our minds are free to wander and make unexpected connections. By living alone, you're creating more opportunities for these moments of inspiration. Living alone encourages personal growth in ways that might be stifled in a relationship. When we're in a relationship, it's easy to fall into comfortable routines and roles. We might avoid trying new things out of fear of judgment from our partner, or because we're too busy accommodating their needs and preferences. But when you live alone, you're free to reinvent yourself as often as you like. You can explore new interests, develop new skills, and challenge yourself in ways you might not have dared to in a relationship. This constant growth and self-discovery keeps life exciting and fulfilling. In our busy, noisy world, genuine self-reflection is becoming increasingly rare. We're so used to constant stimulation and interaction that the idea of sitting alone with our thoughts can seem daunting, even frightening. But it's in these moments of quiet self-reflection that we often gain the most profound insights about ourselves and our lives. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to regularly engage in this kind of deep introspection. You can ask yourself the big questions. What do I really want out of life? What are my core values? What kind of person do I want to be? This self-reflection leads to greater self-awareness, which is crucial for personal growth and happiness. When you truly understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your desires, your fears, you can make better decisions about your life. You can set goals that align with your true self, rather than goals that you think you should have based on societal expectations or others' opinions. Moreover, this self-awareness allows you to enter into relationships romantic or otherwise, from a place of authenticity and strength. You're not looking for someone to complete you or fix you. You're looking for someone who complements your already whole and fulfilled self. It's true that living alone can sometimes be lonely. But here's a crucial distinction I want you to understand. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is not about the presence or absence of others. It's about the quality of our connections with ourselves and with others. You can feel lonely in a crowded room, in a relationship, even in a family. Conversely, you can feel deeply fulfilled and connected when you're by yourself. Living alone gives you the opportunity to develop a rich inner life, to become comfortable with solitude. When you learn to enjoy your own company, to find fulfillment in your own pursuits and thoughts, you become immune to the kind of loneliness that drives people into unfulfilling relationships or situations. When you're comfortable being alone, you're less likely to tolerate unsatisfying relationships out of fear of being single. You become more discerning about who you allow into your life, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections when you do choose to engage with others in today's world, where we're often encouraged to outsource various aspects of our lives. True self-reliance is becoming a rare and valuable trait. When you live alone, you're forced to develop a wide range of skills, from basic home maintenance to financial management, from cooking nutritious meals to solving day-to-day problems. You learn to rely on yourself. This self-reliance becomes a source of pride and confidence. You discover inner resources you never knew you had. And this discovery can be profoundly empowering. Consider the satisfaction that comes from successfully fixing a leaky faucet or preparing a gourmet meal for yourself. These small victories accumulate over time, building a strong foundation of self-confidence. You begin to see yourself as capable and resourceful, qualities that will serve you well in all areas of your life. This self-reliance extends beyond practical skills. Living alone teaches you emotional self-reliance as well. You learn to comfort yourself during difficult times, to motivate yourself when you're feeling down, to celebrate your own achievements. This emotional self-sufficiency is a valuable skill that many people never fully develop. How living alone can positively impact your professional life. When you live by yourself, you have the freedom to create an environment that's conducive to your work style and career goals, whether you're a night owl who does your best work at 2 a.m. or an early bird who likes to start your day at dawn. You can structure your home and your schedule to support your optimal work patterns. This flexibility can lead to increased productivity and job satisfaction without the need to compromise with a partner or roommate. You can set up your home office exactly as you like it. Work when you're most productive. And take breaks when you need them. This level of control over your work environment can be a significant advantage in today's competitive job market. The self-reliance and problem-solving skills you develop through living alone are highly valued in the workplace. Employers appreciate employees who can think independently, take initiative, and adapt to new challenges. The confidence you gain from successfully managing your own life translates into confidence in your professional abilities. How living alone can enhance your physical health. When you live by yourself, you have complete control over your living environment. You can create a space that promotes your well-being, free from the compromises often required in shared living situations. Want to stock your kitchen with only healthy, nutritious foods? You can do that. Prefer to keep your home at a certain temperature for optimal sleep? No problem. Need absolute quiet to practice meditation or yoga? It's all up to you. This level of control over your environment can significantly impact your physical and mental health. Living alone allows you to establish health routines that work best for you, whether it's a morning jog, an evening workout, or a midday meditation session, you can create and stick to habits that support your health without having to coordinate with or accommodate others. How living alone can foster personal growth through increased self-awareness. When you live by yourself, you have more opportunities to observe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without the influence or distraction of others. This self-observation can lead to profound insights about yourself. You might notice patterns in your mood or behavior that you hadn't recognized before. Perhaps you realize that you tend to procrastinate when you're feeling anxious, or that you're more creative in the evening than in the morning. These insights can be invaluable for personal growth, allowing you to make changes that align your life more closely with your true nature. Living alone provides the perfect environment for practicing mindfulness and self-reflection. Without the constant presence of others, you have more opportunities to sit quietly with your thoughts, to journal, to meditate. These practices can lead to greater emotional intelligence, better stress management, and a deeper understanding of yourself. How living alone can positively impact your relationships with others. It might seem counterintuitive, but many people find that their relationships improve when they live alone. Why? Because when you're comfortable being alone, you're less likely to enter into or stay in relationships out of fear or neediness. When you live alone, you learn to enjoy your own company. You develop your own interests, opinions, and ways of doing things. This self-sufficiency makes you a more interesting and well-rounded person, which can make you more attractive to others. You bring more to your relationships because you have a rich, full life of your own. Moreover, the time you spend alone allows you to reflect on your relationships more objectively. You can consider what you truly want and need from your connections with others, free from the immediate influence of those relationships. This clarity can lead to more authentic and satisfying interactions with friends, family, and romantic partners. When you live by yourself, every decision, from the small what to have for dinner to the large whether to accept a job offer in another city, is entirely your own. This constant practice in decision making can sharpen your ability to weigh options. Consider consequences and trust your own judgment. When you live alone, you have the space to make decisions without immediate external influence. You can take the time to really listen to your own thoughts and feelings, to consult your own values and priorities. This can lead to decisions that are more aligned with your true self, rather than decisions made to please others or conform to societal expectations. Many great thinkers, artists, and innovators throughout history have valued solitude as a crucial component of their creative process. When you live alone, you have the freedom to pursue your creative interests without judgment or interruption. Want to spend an entire weekend working on a painting? Go for it. Feel like staying up all night to write poetry? There's no one to tell you not to. This freedom can be incredibly liberating for your creative spirit. Moreover, quiet and solitude of living alone can create the perfect conditions for inspiration to strike. In a world that often pressures us to conform, living alone gives you the space to discover and express your true self. Without the constant influence of others' opinions and preferences, you can explore what you really like, what you truly believe, and who you want to be. This process of self-discovery can be transformative. You might rediscover old passions that you've neglected, or discover new interests you never knew you had. You might find that your political views, your spiritual beliefs, or your life goals are different from what you thought they were when you were living with others. Living alone allows you to develop your own routines and rituals. These personal practices, whether it's a specific way you like to start your day or a special ritual you perform before bed, can become important anchors for your sense of self. They remind you of who you are and what's important to you. even as the world around you changes. When you live by yourself, you're forced to deal with life's challenges on your own. While this might seem daunting at first, it can actually be a powerful opportunity for growth. Each time you successfully navigate a difficult situation on your own, whether it's dealing with a health issue, handling a financial setback, or coping with a personal loss, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that you're capable of handling whatever life throws your way. This growing resilience can significantly reduce your overall stress levels and increase your confidence in facing future challenges. Living alone allows you to develop your own unique coping mechanisms. You learn what truly helps you feel better when you're stressed or upset, without the influence of others' well-meaning but possibly misguided advice. This personalized approach to stress management can be far more effective than one-size-fits-all solutions. In our hyper-connected world, true solitude is becoming increasingly rare. Many people feel uncomfortable or anxious when they're alone, constantly seeking distraction or company. But solitude, when embraced, can be a powerful tool for personal growth and well-being. Living alone gives you the opportunity to develop a comfort with solitude that many people never achieve. You learn to enjoy your own company, to find peace in quiet moments, to entertain yourself without external stimulation. This comfort with solitude can be a valuable asset in life, providing a refuge from the stresses of the world and a space for deep thought and self-reflection. Furthermore, as you become more comfortable with solitude, you may find that you're better able to enjoy the company of others. Paradoxically, being comfortable alone can make you more present and engaged when you're with people, because you're choosing their company rather than seeking it out of fear of being alone. When you live by yourself, you have complete control over your sleep environment and schedule. You can set your bedroom temperature exactly how you like it, control the level of light and noise, and go to bed and wake up at times that suit your natural rhythms. This level of control over your sleep environment can lead to better quality sleep, which in turn can significantly improve your energy levels, mood, and overall health. Moreover, without the need to accommodate someone else's schedule or preferences, you can establish sleep routines that work best for you, whether that means going to bed early and rising with the sun, or staying up late and sleeping in. How living alone can foster a deeper connection with nature and your environment. When you live by yourself, you have the freedom to create a living space that truly reflects your values and preferences. If connecting with nature is important to you, you can fill your home with plants, open the windows to let in fresh air, or choose a living situation that puts you closer to natural settings. Living alone often encourages you to spend more time outdoors. Without the constant companionship of others in your home, you might find yourself more inclined to take walks in the park, go for hikes, or simply sit outside and enjoy the natural world. This increased connection with nature can have profound benefits for your physical and mental health. Living alone is not just a lifestyle choice, it's an opportunity for profound personal growth and self-discovery. It offers a unique chance to develop self-reliance, enhance your decision-making skills, foster creativity, strengthen your sense of identity, build resilience, cultivate appreciation for solitude, improve your sleep habits, and deepen your connection with your environment. While it may seem challenging at first, embracing the solo life can lead to a level of self-awareness, confidence, and fulfillment that many people never achieve. It allows you to create a life that's truly aligned with your values, preferences, and goals, free from the compromises and influences that often come with shared living. Remember, choosing to live alone doesn't mean choosing a life of isolation. Rather, It means creating a strong foundation of self-love and self-understanding from which you can engage more authentically and meaningfully with the world around you. It means becoming the author of your own life story, rather than a character in someone else's. So I encourage you to embrace the transformative power of living alone. See it not as a temporary state or stepping stone to cohabitation, but as a valuable life experience in its own right. For in the quiet moments of solitude, in the challenges overcome, in the personal victories celebrated, that's where you'll find your true self. That's where you'll discover your strength, your resilience, your capacity for joy and growth. And when you do, when you've learned to truly enjoy your own company, to rely on your own strengths, to pursue your own dreams without hesitation, you'll understand why living alone can indeed be better for your soul than any relationship. Because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Nurture it, cherish it, and watch as it transforms every aspect of your life.